Jackson Radio Show.
This is why it's relevant. It's not just relevant how much money people got paid for a speech. I mean, she talked for free for the last 30 years and very few people were listening. To think she made millions of dollars in those speeches is pretty remarkable. But it's relevant because of what you just said. It's worth a look because the uranium rights. It's worth a look because she was at the State Department when, as the Hill reported a couple weeks ago, Sean, you've been covering nightly, people were trying to get Russian interests were trying to get influence within the Obama administration, and she was there at Foggy Bottom at the State Department. Her husband got the speaking fees. If Melania Trump had given a speech for $500,000 in Russia, it'd be plastered everywhere. So you know it's relevant. You know there's just a triple standard going on here. And I saw by one account, there were 50 times the coverage of the Trump campaign and Russia than there was of the Clinton campaign in Russia. And people still give the nauseating excuse, Sean, is because he won and she lost. That is not what's relevant here. The other thing I would just point out for you.
Hillary.
Yes.
She stole the primary.
Yeah, but she lost anyway. Our grandmothers were right. Cheaters never prosper.
Well, she stole it from Bernie.
She stole it from Bernie.
If I was a communist socialist like him.
That was Kellyanne Conway. What a nice lady. So just direct it to the, right there. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is. But, I got the impression she was saying something along the lines of, let's just move along or whatever. But there's more to this, folks. There's more to this. See, the infighting that's happening with the Democrats is what they constantly accuse us of. Now, is there infighting in the Republicans? Absolutely there is, because most of the Republicans that represent us are rhinos who are in cahoots with the Democrats. They are swamp rats, bottom feeders that once the swamp gets drained, we'll see all the sucker fish that live at the bottom, that are, eating the excrement of all the other fish that were swimming in the swamp. But here's where we are. Here's what I want to do right now. I'll get that clip for Schumer ready for me. So Chuck Schumer is being interviewed by a lady, some leftist play. I don't know who it is, but it's CNN or somebody. And he's asked, what do you think about Donna Brazile's statement? And he says, I pretty much leave him alone, but leave the DNC alone. We run separate. I like Tom Perez. And as you listen to this, he catches him. He effectively tells a lie because he pretends that, look, I don't need the DNC. Why would I be messing with those guys? Well, he messes with those guys because they help fund his campaign, or they help fund the campaigns of the people that he says fund this campaign. That's how it works. Schumer can't act like he hasn't been a power broker for years. He's worked to get to the level of power that he is, and he doesn't want to give it up. But at the very end is when this clip will get you how ominous it sounds. So here it is.
Elizabeth Warren said earlier today that based on new reporting from Donna Brazile in a book that the 2016 primary was rigged. Do you agree?
I haven't read her book. I don't know the details, so I'm not going to make a judgment on that.
Do you have any concerns about the DNC's involvement in the primary in 2016?
Again, I didn't follow it. I'd like to see what Donna Brazile has to say. I will read it, but
Bernie Sanders has never complained about this to you before?
Oh, he's complained all the time.
Do you agree with him? Do you think his complaints are legitimate?
I've never mixed in much with the DNC. When I was senator, even now as leader, I like Tom Perez, and we work together, but he does his thing, I do my thing.
Okay, I'm going to put you down as a non-answer on that question.
Oh, really?
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. That was Chuck Schumer. I don't know who the interviewer was. Lady. And Chuck Schumer admits, I'm not going to give you an answer. Are you kidding? You want me to spill milk? Offer up dirty laundry on the Democrats? Give the Republicans ammunition that they're obviously going to use in a time when we need to negotiate for what we're trying to get? By the way, they're not trying to get anything for people. This tax bill is a slap in the face of the American people, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could write the script. Do you really need to go to the Democrats on anything that Donald Trump does other than to say they hate it? That's the answer. You could take whatever Donald Trump has done, give it to Barack Obama, and suddenly the Democrats would be all for it. In fact, they'd be fighting for it But you put Trump's name on it, and they're philosophically opposed. And they call this, politics and Washington. Are you kidding? Look, don't misunderstand me. I expect people to disagree, but to the level that they disagree. But let me tell you, folks, when you talk to these folks, Marie Scharf or Harf or whatever her name is, Barf, when you talk to people like her and other leftists that I've met when I'm up in New York, when I'm in D.C., people, you guys ask me all the time, Kevin, do they really believe it? And there are a couple of instances where I told you, nah, they don't. But in the majority of the instances, they believe it. They are the easiest triggered people. They have no sense of humor. They are so ideologically, to describe them is very difficult because you're a normal human being. If we're joking, and I say something like, hey, buddy, hey, like I said the other day about something like, if Barack Obama wore panties, they would tell men it would make you more manly to wear panties or something like that. Maybe I said it today. I don't know. But if a leftist heard me say that, they would be triggered in so many ways. What are you saying, Kevin, that men can't wear panties? Or why'd you pick panties? Are you trying to say something about women? They would go on and on. Are you trying to make the man gay? What, do you have a problem with gay people? They are going to find something wrong in everything that you say. And that's why, I don't know if you guys caught it when I was on TV on Outnumbered with Marie Harf. I made the comment to her. I said something. She said something about Trump. Well, he can blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, his story was unraveling about Russia. And I said, that's nonsense. I said, if there's anything unraveling, it's Hillary's skirt. Meaning that she's the one that's, the emperor will soon have no clothes. That was what was going through my head. And she goes, that's sexist. Immediately. And I went, no, it's not. And of course, Harris shut it off. But my comment was going to be, look, you can't have your cake and eat it too and be talking about sexism because what I said afterwards was what? Should I have said pantsuit? Which I thought was really funny. But, what are you talking about? See, we give them too much credit. We give them an inch, they take a mile. This woman is a vile human being that doesn't even want to listen to reason. It's funny when I shut her up, when I say things like, look, she asked me, what has Trump done? Well, what are you talking about? Okay, well, let's begin with Carrier. Then let's look at SoftBank. And I went through a whole litany of companies. And you know what she did? She sat there looking at me, and then she was like, oh, yeah, you don't even know. She's so busy not hearing anything positive about Trump. She's in this echo chamber of ignorance that when you finally start breaking down all these things, she's completely at a loss. And I talk about her often because she's such an idiot, but she was a member of our CIA. God, it's crazy. I don't even know where to go from here. But anyway, here's what I want to tell you about Chuck Schumer. He says he didn't follow the DNC in 2016. Are you kidding me? The president of the United States was in play, and he wants to pretend that he didn't know anything about what the DNC was up to. And I don't know, the difference, the lines of demarcation, and if he was on the inside. But it's kind of like everybody's saying, I didn't know Weinstein was doing it. I look at it as the same lies. That's what the left does. Now, I don't know if you know about the Weinstein situation. They're saying that there were people who were paid to give this information. And we'll get into that for the Democrats as well with things that we are hearing that they did. But then she asked him, did Bernie Sanders complain? Yeah, but Bernie always complains. So he dismisses it as if, yeah, it's no big deal. But he goes on to say, and this is where he was in the lie, yeah, well, Tom Perez, we work together, we do this. So you do work with the DNC. You pretty much intimated earlier that, no, I kind of know. I know who they are. I know they exist. I mean, it's not like I'm, hanging out with them or anything. I mean, come on. And then finally, the most ominous part of that interview was where she says, I'm just going to put that down as a non-answer. And Chuck's, you think? So in other words, he's telling you, I'm not going to answer this. This is a public servant to the people being asked, do you believe there was collusion in the DNC? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't think the Republicans would have been a whole lot different. But I want to tell you something about you and me. This audience. See, that's the difference between us. That's the reason why we sent Donald Trump to drain the swamp. If Donald Trump's team had done things like that, if he found out that collusion was happening and Donald Trump got asked that, he would have said, yeah, I do believe the RNC colluded against so-and-so. I don't think it would have been even a question of, do I admit that this happened? I mean, I'm not saying he's complicit, and I'm just saying somebody ancillary to this should have no problem. If you're representing the American people, you should have no problem saying, you know what, I believe Donna Brazile. She's represented us very well, but what did Chuck do? He left that black chick flailing in the wind.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.